Hello, rays of sunshine. How are you doing? My name is Juniper Bloom Mystique. I am an Ascension Master, Master Healer, and Divine Guide. And since 2019, when I had a sudden Kundalini awakening, things changed for me. Today we're going to talk about the toxins in the world that we are in, but also what blocks our third eye and our crown and basically all of our energy and chakras. But as we're switching in the return of Christ, because if you truly watch my channel, that is what I brought about. From clearing Mount Shasta to activating pyramids to freeing Jesus' soul to uniting Jesus and Mary Magdalene to undoing the Holy Grail and much more. I undid all darkness. I closed down all 12 gates of darkness and I opened up the 13th gate of heaven when I dried the Nile. Horus returned. He rose out of the Sphinx. It was pretty cool to see. All that's been recorded and on this channel. So what I talk about is true. I know what I'm talking about and it's all proven and right in front of you. We're not looking just for a masculine named Jesus. We are looking for masculine and feminine. Okay? And we are now discovering that every lifetime, this is a great reset. So every lifetime has been measured and won't matter going forward any longer. It's now time to learn those lessons. It's now time to be in our full capacity and our full power because I have undone all concepts of false time, of false reality. And not only that, I took us into 7D. And it was painful and I almost died 3 times doing it. It was very real, my friends. But it's also very beautiful. It was one of the most beautiful experiences I couldn't have ever dreamt up. I couldn't have dreamt it up if I tried or wanted to, because the stuff that came out in all of those, I would have never known. I would have never known what the Holy Grail really was because they lied. They lied to all of you. And that brings me into what I'm talking about today. Okay? We don't realize how toxic the world was that we are in. Not to mention, everything that I put through the portals have a karmic kickback if they didn't align with God. True God, not the false one. True God is unconditional love, not judgment, not ego, okay, and not toxins. We need to be more of a high vibration, more of a light body. And our third eye is very important and relevant because they have spent a very long time cutting it off for you, okay? So things from our water, what they put in it, the fluoride they're constantly putting down your throat. Spirit actually told me yesterday when I was channeling this, because I was like, okay, what about it? I don't even have to read it because it's really, truly very in the energy. Fluoride alone causes cancer. I was doing healings when I first woke up, you guys. And I had a client come to me, and these were out of the blue. I didn't know who I was, or I would just do them. I just innately knew. Okay, I didn't have to read a book. It was in me. It was a part of my awakening. And I can go within your body and see the whole entire makeup of you. I see your bones, your muscles. It's all in there. I see it all when I could do the healings. And this person had a crust on his pineal gland, but he also had Parkinson's disease. And I didn't know all that. I was just doing the healing. And I went to his head and I started removing this crust off his pineal gland. And that, is a big issue for the entire collective soul. There are so many healings that I do, and I have to remove this crust off our pineal gland. But that's not the only thing it crusts up. Every time I do a healing for people, there are so many toxins in our system that block us from seeing, from feeling, from hearing, and from being the true creator and powerful being that we are. And if we can't see clearly, how do we rise? How do we awaken? Right? We need to know what to do and what to avoid and what to come out of. So what blocks your pineal gland, what causes this crust, is fluoride is a number one thing. And it's in your water. And they push it at the dentist all the time. It's in your toothpaste. It's even in the foods you eat and you don't even know it. All the genetic modifications, they put those in our foods and in our water and in the V's. Let's face that. They're everywhere. It's super important to pay attention to what you're eating and why. I recently had to do a detox workshop for this reason, because if you're rising to this level at this time and you have any virus matrix in you or any of these toxins in you, you can accidentally become part of that karmic kickback that is rising. Okay. I took all animals through all 13 gates, and by gate 5, they had karmic kickback for some of them. Some of them were not able to make it into the new earth because they were genetically modified too much. And in that, I also learned where the V and all that came from. That last one, right? It's a big deal. So the genetic modifications, all of the farm crops, those are some of the first things that I undid a long time ago before I activated the pyramids. Money, I threw it in a portal. I've talked about this. So that has its own karmic kickback. So depending upon what side of the karma field you're on determines what is coming your way. But how are you going to know? How are you going to see clearly? How do we open our channels? And I have courses on this as well because it's complex, okay? But one of the most important layers is what we eat, what we put into our body. From all the foods. Right now, Spirit says don't eat meat. I see it in myself. I see it in my kids. I constantly have to detox it if we do have any, because it's a very low vibration, not to mention all the modifications. They're constantly basically poisoning you. It's in your water, you guys. And sometimes they'll say it's at undetectable levels, so it can't harm you. And that is such a lie. Okay, they will accept certain toxicities at certain levels and say it's not harmful, and it's a lie. So we need to be mindful of what we eat. The foods we eat should be high vibrational and more natural. So if you can find the mom and pop farms, and that's not always easy to do, right? Shop at the local stores. I got a nudge this morning to even switch the store I've been shopping at. So I'm going to do that. It's really kind of hard, but the thing is when we can hear and see clearly, not with these eyes, but with this one, and with our crown and with our heart, we can see more clearly what is good and what is not, what is aligned and what is not. Okay? So immediately change your toothpaste. Go for fluoride free. Also, the x-rays at the dentist, they want me to say, block your pineal gland. They cause this crust. Let's see what else. All medications and substances, every single one of them blocks your third eye. From Tylenol to ibuprofen to the V's to drugs, even marijuana. Okay, they all block your third eye. I actually used to smoke that. I had to quit that on my journey, and I didn't know why. I didn't know who I was at the time, but God asked me, hey, would you quit? And that was the only thing I did. And I was like, yes. And then they would celebrate, and I had no idea what that meant. It was so weird, but I get it now, because then eventually my twin flame union came. And if you know anything about Adam and Eve, it would make sense. But when I would do that and I would quit, I could feel the difference. It would drain from my sinuses, and you can actually feel it open your third eye. So the littlest things that you wouldn't even think, block it. But that's the world they designed you in. So even what you watch, if you watch scary movies and things that are low vibrational, they block your third eye. They block your energy. They cause you to not be able to see clearly, to be in balance. They throw it all off very easily. Not to mention, did you know that all substances from alcohol to marijuana to every bit of it carries some kind of dark energy? Because they are not truly of the earth we once resided in, and they are not of the earth we will be in again. Okay? Garden of Eden is now the entire earth, and I'm not making that up. Okay? People will come here and watch one video and think I am just making it all up, and I'm not. I literally processed the earth's death. When I was activating pyramids, I was moving things. I rebuilt the crystalline grid. I replaced the crystals underneath the pyramids. I filled them with my light, Christ light, and my heart and physical form became enlarged in doing that. And I even have the scars on my feet, okay? So everything I did was physical. It was spiritual. It took everything I had, and it was not normal. And then when I processed the earth's death, after I dried the Nile, after I activated all the pyramids, after I freed Jesus' soul and resurrected Jesus and Mary Magdalene and undid the Holy Grail, the final workshops that I did was the Nile, freeing Horus, because he's my twin flame. I got to walk in because the other one didn't make it, but I did. And then I got to process the earth's death. And there's a lot. It took me 5 years of almost every day these were coming through me to do. It was all my awakening. Okay, so just trust that we don't know. You were lied to upon lied to. There was no cross involved. They broke the true cross and they stole his soul. Okay, and so you've been praying to a false god. You've been living in a false world. And all of that at this point will block you from God. Okay, because the real God has returned. Christ has, I kind of like the purple in my hair. I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm like, that's cute. Maybe I should do that. Anywho, the true Christ has returned. Okay. I know because I watched it, I processed it, I brought it, and I didn't know it either until I knew it. You just don't know until you know. So don't mock it. Please watch the proof. Because I recorded it all because I record my workshops and I record my healing sessions, and these would come through without us knowing what was coming. We would, like the Nile, God told me, let's go get gifts. And I was like, cool, we're going to get gifts from the angels from all the hard work. And then in the middle of that, the Nile part came in. Okay, and I called back my power. I replaced this crystal that was in the core of the earth that was filled with darkness. And they thought they broke the one with light. I cut everybody off from the earth because now you have to upgrade and connect to her to rise. Okay, so any shadow within you, any karma, you cannot do that. It's also why I'm doing like this 13 days of free angel healing. I've got everything you need. Okay, I'm not just making this up. It's all proven. People have risen with me. They work with me. They heal all the time through me. Okay, it's truly real. Certain parts of the Bible will lie, and the other you put little bits of truth in there for you. Okay. Anywho, what blocks our third eye? Fluoride, fear, anxiety, really does damage to your system, and that's why they have you do that, because none of that is of God. The foods we eat, if it's meat right now, there's a karmic kickback, but because of that, they also have a soul, and God says we don't usually eat living beings, right? There may have been a one-time necessity, but if you truly knew anything about that time frame, like the Native Americans, they would respect it and honor it and use every bit of it, and for good, not for waste. Okay, so to understand the world we're rising out of and into is crucial at this time. So your pineal gland, you can open it, but if you do any of these other things, it's going to close it right back up. Okay, we have to learn new coping mechanisms. You don't be in fear. I talk about this. I do videos on this all the time. I help you through spell castings. There's lots of healings. I have a Hertz music channel. It's all there. Vibrations are very important. You must keep your vibration high because these frequencies are super high vibration. The frequency of love is what you want to match, and that's a vibration within, not just a word. Okay? We do that by healing enough and removing all toxins from our system. Matter of fact, the full circle detox was super awesome. We used all the elements of the earth, plus I do the healings. And so it's a full circle detox. But even the earth has changed because I took her into the new earth. Garden of Eden became the entire earth. And so we used the soil, which was mineral rich. But you have to also understand that when I brought down the anointing of the blood of Christ, it only blessed some of the water, not all. So there is water that is highly becoming more toxic right in front of your face. It's almost like the truths are rising. And a lot of them have medications in the water. Like you guys, we were in a toxic cesspool. And this is not about fear. This is about power, truth, knowing what to do. Okay? Know where you get your foods. Some of the darkness truly does manipulate your food. Know where you're getting your water. Get a filter. There's not expensive ones. You guys don't freak out, okay? But I even have emergency water. That's the only thing for an emergency I have. I don't have like a bunker. I know what I did. I know what I brought about. But I also know some of us are rising into the new earth in abundance and others are not. Some of us are protected through the anointing, through the path, things like that, and some are not. It's karma based, okay? Because God is love. So you can make the choice to know what to do and know how to navigate these changes. Okay, so to clear your third eye, really watch and pay attention to what you're putting in your system from water. The fluoride is in your toothpaste, your water, and your foods, certain foods. Medications of any kind will block them. Can you heal certain? I can heal everything in you. So we're not meant to be sick. We're not meant to suffer. We're not meant to numb the pain, okay? Consider that. In the old earth, we didn't have those things. In the new earth, we won't either. All right? It's too high vibrational. What else is on there? DNA activations. You definitely need those in order to open your third eye. And I talk a lot about when you can get those. Just because they're coming into the earth does not mean that you're open to receive them. That's something that you need to understand and how to do it. So the more that you connect to the earth, the more you detox your system right now. And you need a full circle detox. That's why I did that course recently. I learned a lot doing it because I channel it through. They don't get everything that we are. We need a full circle, okay? From your environment to the things that you eat and watch and say and do. And even some detergents and things can help block our system and cause chaos within it. Okay, so drink lots of water, but healthy water. If you're dehydrated, your pineal gland will also close. Stress, fear, toxicity of any kinds, medications, even marijuana, even ayahuasca. So Spirit tells me about ayahuasca, and Mount Shasta was darkness. I've already proven that, and I cut it off from life support. I had to free hundreds of souls from there, and that is where Archangel Samael burned in the second one. So a lot of people were going there for like spiritual retreats and doing ayahuasca and stuff. And Spirit told me about ayahuasca. It can open your heart, but if you do it more than once, it's dark. Okay? You need to be able to connect to Spirit in a natural form to have a true connection. Otherwise, you don't know who you're connecting to, because any kind of substances are a gateway for all energies. Okay? Understand that. So can you do it once? Yes. And open your heart? Yeah. But after that, you better rise from a shadow. Especially if you went to Mount Shasta. I keep talking about that. That was the veil. Okay. So we need to start to learn the truths. Once you do that, you're going to start to awaken and open up. And then you need to raise your vibration every step of the way. Everything you do every day determines your vibration. Okay. So think of it like that, like a stepping stones. That's why I did that too. Stepping stones to awakening. It's like a stepping stones to awakening. Everything you do every day, everything you put in your system matters. All right. So healthy foods, we need waters, you need exercise, you need a balance. Okay. You need a balance in your real world, of everything. And there's no excuses. But they make us toxic. They have created a very toxic, lazy state of being. Trust me, I know. I don't like to exercise. I don't like it at all. But I do my healing light movements, and I walk a lot, and I do certain things. Okay. So there's no excuses, my friends. Fluoride will cause cancer. That's what Spirit showed me. Medications of all kinds, certain foods. You guys, we got to be careful. Almond milk is actually more toxic. I've never touched it. As the healer that I am, I see these things. I can see what foods are good. I get those. Never has it been almond milk. I actually remember one of my healings saying, don't do almond milk because it'll really block up your system, your kidneys, your liver. Lots of surgeries can also do damage. I'm not saying there's not times where they haven't been just. I'm not here to argue the medical field. I do know, however, it has a karmic kickback because most of it, I'd say about 90% of it, is not of God. Let me see what else they wanted me to say about what blocks your pineal gland. Fear is a big one. Substances, foods. I'm just making sure I got it all. Fluoride is huge. Okay, you don't want fluoride at all. What's another common thing that most people do that blocks your pineal gland? Yeah, what you watch. We'll be very careful with what you're watching and who you're following and what you're listening to, because certain things like music and things is designed to also block your pineal gland. Okay. That's why Hertz frequencies, anytime I get overwhelmed with TV, Spirit will tell me detox that as well. Okay. Because there's so much subliminal stuff in them. You don't even know. Oh, and the virus matrix wall. I actually undid that for the path to righteousness, so the earth doesn't have it, but it has a karmic kickback now. So if you have any virus matrix wall in you, it also is going to rise and block your pineal gland. Okay, that's why it's super important to detox. You can do the path, but you know, that's not for the faint of heart because it's very real. It takes you into the new earth and it gets all of this out of your system. So it's like healing on steroids. And it's not for the faint of heart. It's for those ready to stand against the shadow and rise completely. But in that, I undo the virus matrix wall, take out all your shadow and karma. Because if you have any shadow, that also will block your third eye. Okay? So you got to be healing. You need to be detoxing, raising your vibration every day in a balanced, healthy world, not in the matrix. The more you're in the matrix, the more you can't see. Okay? And please stay away from fluoride. And that goes with the high fructose corn syrup and all these kinds of things. Okay? Even certain teas, you guys, they lie to you because they can put anything in anything and tell you anything. Right? And then we've come to a space where we're allergic to certain foods. We're not supposed to be allergic to what the earth supplies. Do you realize that? I know, because in the new earth, you have to match her blueprint and her DNA matches with yours. And so everything she grows is our superfood. So we're not supposed to be allergic to foods. That alone tells you how disconnected and how fake and processed everything is and what it's done to our systems. Okay? So just work on it. Take one little step at a time every day. Don't overload your system. But if you can eliminate meat, do that. If you can look to more natural things, do that. Learn different ways of doing things. We have to change the way we were doing things and to rise above it all. Okay? And then meditate, calm the mind, get in the body, raise your vibration every day. It takes steps every day. So when you're like, I can't, it's just another step of reprogramming what was toxic. Okay? So don't give up. Don't stop. Keep going. All right, my friends? I hope this helps. It's quite layered. When you think about all the things that really do block our third eye, there's a lot. Yeah, because we were leaving a toxic world behind. So rise into the beauty. Or not. It's your choice. But please don't judge. Okay? Open your heart, open your mind, and watch the videos. I actually post the real work of the return of Christ on this channel. The Holy Grail, undoing of the Holy Grail, happened on Christmas Day Live of 22 on this channel. It's already been done, and it wasn't a cup. So much love to all of you. Know what's really coming, because it's coming fast. I'll see you next time.